Any other big leadership lessons, things you've learned along the way that you think have really kind of shaped you as a leader, that have really allowed you to kind of get to the point in your career that you are?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. There's probably a few things along the way, but the first thing for me has been, you just came out with a book about talking about authoring up and editing down. That one in and of itself is a very big lesson and very helpful from a leadership perspective. I was doing that, but it wasn't as intentional as I probably should have been. But at the end of the day, one of the things I learned early on is, so I'm an engineer, right? Maybe I don't look like one, but I like to solve things. I like to solve problems, and I like to be in control of that. So as a leader, you have to trust your teams to bring you something to work with and to edit. And that one for me is probably ranks at the very top. Because the other thing I would say is, not everybody is going to do things the way that you might attack it. You might attack a problem. But I think if you're willing to take a step back and truly listen to the input, you're going to hear some things and think about some things that you might have missed along the way trying to solve the problem yourself or for the team. And you don't want to stunt their growth. At the end of the day, you need them to grow right along with you.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the team really strong. So that's up there, along with not being afraid to look at, hey, where are some of the roadblocks that I have right now? Maybe with individual leadership. So I talk to my teams all the time about individual leadership. And then from there, if you can get everybody to understand that they have a part in leadership, you can strengthen the team and do some pretty amazing things without question. So in the end, I think you have to almost kind of follow Simon Sinek had it right when he said, hey, a boss has the title, a leader has the people. But I would add that, performance follows the people. And you have to learn how to become part of the people if you're going to truly lead your squad. You can't do it from a distance. And so you have to be engaged. And I think that direct communication is a big key. And they have to understand that it's an open door policy. And one of the things that I did to try and illustrate that early on in my career was when I was given my assignment out in Northeast Ohio, I knew nobody. And which was good. They didn't know me. So I had a jar of pennies and I walked into my first meeting, had everybody come in, and I started passing the jar around and said, just take two. And it didn't take very long. And then finally, one of the customer service reps raised their hands and said, hey, what's this for? And I said, well, I want your 2 cents. So this is a reminder that we can't move the needle and we can't grow as a company if you're not willing to come talk to me about what you're seeing. Because, you might be flying at a 30,000 foot level or 10,000 foot level, but you still need to be connected to what's going on at the ground level so that you can make good decisions for the business as the leader.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. I love that jar of pennies. That's a brilliant idea. That's a brilliant idea.
It's not very far from me right now on my desk. I keep it as my reminder.
Nice. I think that's fantastic. Well, Chris, we're already getting close on time here. So I ask all my guests on the Leadership Foundry podcast this question: what's one life hack for us on how we can become better leaders starting today? What's one life hack you might have for everyone listening to this?
Well, I wouldn't recommend handing out the Dundies at Chili's. I'll just say that. Okay. I would say that really explaining the why to your teams, you have to get their buy-in. And a lot of times you may know what the outcome is that you're looking for, but if you can just simply explain the why on whatever the initiative is and shed some light on the desired outcome, you can get the buy-in that you need and the accountability that you need to make a difference. And that has been the single biggest success for me as a leader is I focus on, hey, why are we doing this? Not you have to do this. We need to report this every month. Like you get too far down the road. If I can explain it really well and take the time to answer questions, because there's myths out there, hey, I think we're doing this because of whatever reason. No, there's a really good reason, and it's much bigger than you or I, and it's much bigger than the company. So when you can take the time to do that and connect with them in that way, it changes the game as a leader.